Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Critical Reactions with your host, Bryan. Today we're going to be continuing on with this week's theme of Bryan's favorites, checking out bands that I've enjoyed in the past that I'd like to check out again and kind of see what else they've done, what else they can do with their repertoire of skills. Today brings us back to Protest the Hero, and they just put out a new album-ish, and this new song, Little Snakes, has been recently released to YouTube as a single. So we're going to be checking this one out. Lots of people say that this is definitely the song to start off my journey with their album, Palimpsest. I don't know what that word means, but I like the way it just kind of rolls off the tongue. Palimpsest. Alright, so yeah, let's drop in my headphones. Let's get around checking out some Protest the Hero. Let's go.
What a typical story. Contested like the Americas, with treaties broken, the same sad token. Tory prepared it with paraffin. Disembodied hands, disembowel the earth. A monument.
Getting a very Dream Theater vibe. Are we in 9/4? It's kind of wild. I like that orchestral string there. Or orchestral sting. Sorry. Ooh. A little bit of creepiness. I like that airiness he put in there. His vocals. Ooh, like an airy falsetto. Very cool, like alternation between like rhythmic ideas and then the run, just kind of going back and forth on the guitars in that last section. Yep, halftime, felt that coming. The bass playing those dotted quarters is really throwing this whole section off. You really got to listen to the bass, kicks, and the snare to feel the time. Yeah, really cool. And this section's very closed off. There's a lot of the soundscape that's left open. Huge contrast from the rest of the song. Nice little bass run there. I think it was a bass run. is the opening riff, isn't it? But it's missing that last held note, which would have been the ninth beat. This is like our 4/4 version of it. Yeah. Yeah, it's like a 4/4 version of the opening riff. Switch it up a little bit. Emphasize the beats 2 and 4 now. Yeah, there's something really funky going on with the time signature at the end there. Um, I don't know what it was. Like, I felt like we entered into a three kind of like a three pulse, but I don't know. I'd have to like go back and listen to that one again and kind of see if there's an instrument still holding the four, or if we did transition over to a three, or maybe it was just the way that the phrasing happened. I don't know. Things got weird there at the end, like real weird. Um, I'm gonna say though, I don't know what to think of this. I there's been a lot of this um, this week just coming in with the wrong mindset, the wrong expectations, and it's happening here again. Um, when we checked out Blood Meat, was that Protest the Hero? Is that their song? I think so. When we checked out whatever the Protest the Hero's last track, the one that we did last time, I said that it reminded me of something like Periphery or Tesseract with the singer from The Used, and it had a lot of the funness of of The Used with the technicality and progginess of Tesseract or Periphery or something like that. And that's kind of what I remember Protest the Hero being, is like proggy punk rock. And this was like straight up 80s prog. Like, so much of this reminded me of Dream Theater. The way that he sings, the riffs that they chose, the time signature shifts, everything. Even going from, the loud sections to the one quiet section to kind of emphasize, the louder sections. The way that they changed up how they used space. Uh, Even some of the drum fills felt the whole song. If you had told me that this was Dream Theater's new single, I'd believe you. I really would. And because of that, I'm not sure what to think of it because I was expecting something totally different. This is not anything of what I wanted more of from Protest the Hero. Um, it's enjoyable. I mean, I pointed out a lot of really cool stuff while we listened to it. Um, I really enjoy the way that the band has this way to drive energy throughout the song, even when it chooses to be a little bit more restrained. In the section, in the softer section, with the violins. No, I'm just gonna call it the string section. When the bass is playing the dotted quarter notes and the drums laying down the 4/4. I think it's 4/4. I'm pretty sure that was a four. Yeah, that was a four section. So yeah, something around 4/4. The drums has like a three pulse feel because they're doing dotted quarters, and that section does not use a lot of space at all. It's a very empty section of the song, and it provide it's a stark contrast to the loud full sounds that comprise the rest of the song. I mean, we have the guitar I don't even think was present there in that section. The strings were very low, a lot of the volumes were low. It wasn't as bombastic, and it allows the ending to really explode. If they had just gone straight through without that section, I don't think the ending would have had the impact that it did, even with the screams. That section before really allows it to shine through as, you know, a huge jump in volume, in space, um, rather than if they had skipped it and just went with the screaming. I mean, it definitely would have had more of an impact. It was the only part of the song that had screaming in it, but I don't think it would have hit as hard. So they use dynamics really well. Dynamics in volume, dynamics in space usage, dynamics in time modulation. Yeah, there's a lot of really cool things to talk about here as far as the music goes. But it's not what I wanted out of more protest. I think Blood Meat is more preferable for me. Um, just because I think it merges a lot more ideas and kind of grabs different concepts from different genres. Um, and this is pretty much just straight prog. One thing I do really like about it, though, a little bit refreshing for me, we've been listening to a lot of proggier modern bands lately, and modern um, engineering, production really favors low end. Bass allows you to fill up space really easily. It gives you that wall of sound. It makes your overall sound just feel bigger. Um, I don't know if that's necessarily what they're aiming for, but that's the idea I get out of it, and I see a lot of modern metal bands really emphasizing the lower end. And this kind of aims for more of a late 80s, early 90s idea of mixing where we have a lot more of the high end, a lot more of the trebles and mids shining through. And I think that also kind of lends itself to sound more like Dream Theater just because Dream Theater still sticks with that kind of production from what I've heard so far. Um, Actually, we haven't done modern Dream Theater. We did I don't know when Octavarium came out. And then the only other song I've heard from them is Panic Attack, which came out. Oh, I think it was on the same album actually. So I've only heard one album from them. So I actually need to figure out what album that's from. Maybe we do need to check out New Dream Theater and see if they've changed their production ideas. Anyways, though, this to me sounds like um, production values and mixing ideas that were prevalent in the early 90s, especially in the prog scene. And it kind of mixes that with the cleanliness of modern technology. And I really like that just as a sort of contrast to what we have been listening to. It's very refreshing to get this more, it's almost a brighter sound. It's not as heavy. There's still a heaviness in the volume, in the distortion, in the delivery of the fries at the end, but overall, it doesn't have that metal darkness that so many modern metal bands have just because they're pumping out the low end. And this song just sounds brighter. I don't know if that comes through. Brightness and darkness of tone is something that I'm pretty familiar with going through um, band like symphonic band stuff, horns and strings. It's something we learned pretty early. Um, in like high school, I think we started really touching onto the color of instruments and the color of metals. Like a silver trumpet is going to sound different than a bronze trumpet, and it's because of the way that the sound's reflected. And we typically, when we talk about the color of an instrument's sound, we talk about being brighter or darker. Um, and that doesn't necessarily mean higher or lower. It's about the textures of the sound. But I think this one, with the higher emphasis on the treble, and there's got to be a little bit in the engineering as well. Not so much the mixing, but the way that the sounds are engineered to come out. The guitars sound brighter. They don't sound as heavy or dark, or I don't know. It's It's just it sounds brighter. I don't know any other way to put that through. It's still a heavy sound. This is still some, prog rock, prog metal, wherever that fits in there. Um, but it just doesn't have that bitter darkness that modern metal and modern prog has. And I appreciate that, especially to put this song out right now when that darker bass heavy sound is so prevalent. So this really cuts through the noise as far as, the modern metal culture. So I think that's really cool. But uh, subjectively, I could take it or leave it. It's an interesting song musically, but it is not what I wanted from Protest the Hero. I really wanted that like hyper technical but still punk rock stuff going on. Like I don't know. This is very different from Blood Meat. Well, from what I remember of Blood Meat. I probably should go back and see just how different they are because I just have a completely different. I might even be thinking of the wrong song, to be honest. But these are the guys that when the band was doing like a rhythmic stinger, the vocalist chimed in. He was like da 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 da. I mean, that's these guys, right? Like just really fun, hyper technical band with like a little bit of prog edge to it. And this was just like pure 90s prog. I don't know. Like I said, it's good. I really appreciate what they're doing, and maybe if I was in the right mindset, um, I would really enjoy it. But wanting something completely different coming into this and getting this, um, just yeah, a little disappointing. All right, so that's my thoughts on Protest the Hero Little Snakes. This is where you guys come in, though. Drop me down some stuff in the comments. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if there's other Protest the Hero songs I should check out. Let me know if this is like just the way that they sound on this album. Maybe this is the sound they're going for. They've evolved as a band. Blood Meat is an older song. I remember the video was grainy. It wasn't high def. So I don't know. That could have been like 5 to 10 years ago. Maybe that was just their sound then, and this is how they've evolved as a band. Um, yeah, I don't know. Hit me up though if maybe I should be checking out older Protest the Hero if that fits my taste better. Hit me up with those recommendations. If this is more of a one shot on this album and they do have some stuff that's more punkier, let me know. Because I definitely want to check out their new sound with some of their older ideas, if that's possible. If they're doing that. If not, if they've evolved into this, that's fine too. I mean, bands, it's quite selfish to hope that anybody, any artist of any sort, stagnates in their craft because it's what you enjoy, because you've stagnated in your interests. So I would never wish that a band stays the way that I like them. If whatever album Blood Meat came off of, that if I love every song on that album will always exist. I can go and listen to that forever, and if they don't make another track like that album again, that's fine. Um, but yeah, let me know what I should be checking out from Protest the Hero because I do want to revisit them. I think they're a very talented group. I really enjoy a lot of what they're doing, and like I said, maybe when I come back to this track on a second listen to, knowing what I'm getting into, I might enjoy it more knowing what it is and having the right expectations for it. While you're down there in the comments, also you can like, subscribe, and ring the bell. All three of those things help me out immensely. We are so close to hitting 10K, and I don't know what we're going to do for a 10K celebration, but we're going to do something. I'm thinking like a live stream of some sort, but the things I want to do for a live stream, I can't do. I need multiple. Well, I need another camera and maybe some more lights. I'm thinking about doing maybe like a live composing stream. I haven't written things in a while, and I started getting back into that a little bit ago. I put up a new track on my compositions channel. It's a little excerpt, something I was playing around with a couple weeks ago. And I miss it. I miss it. We should get back to writing. So maybe we can do that live. You guys can see me bang my head against the wall when I hit writer's block, because that's bound to happen. It's been too long. I got to get back into that groove. So yeah, maybe we'll do that. I don't know. 10K is big. We got to do something big. And yep, I'll be back tomorrow. Wait. What day is today? Do 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 do. Oh, today's Wednesday. Okay, so we have another video coming up right after this. It'll be the Patreon picks. If you like, you can stick around for that. One of my patrons tells me what to check out, and to check it out. Easy peasy. No theme, no exceptions. They just give me a song and I do it. So that's pretty exciting. Otherwise, I'll be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. UTC, as usual, with another song for this week. It'll be the penultimate song for this theme, which I love that word, penultimate. It's like the second to last. It's such a simple phrase, but penultimate just sounds cool. So add that to your lexicon, your vocabulary, because it's cool. It's cool stuff. All right. So yeah, until then, you guys stay safe out there and have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening whenever you choose to watch my videos.